Business IQ is proudly brought to you by Credit Guarantee.
Welcome to Business IQ. Well, entrepreneurial innovation is what we're talking about today. Just what is it? What's the impact on business, and how does South Africa compare to emerging markets or even mature markets? We're joined now by Rob Sussman, who's the founder and CEO of Integr8 Group. Rob, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, let's first start off by defining what exactly are we talking about when we refer to entrepreneurial innovation.
Okay, so an entrepreneur and innovation are basically two separate words, and when they come together, it's essentially somebody going out and creating something, and something new. So a typical example of this in the South African context would be somebody going out and creating a business, building a business, creating employment, employing people, and giving the opportunity for people to be employed, to feed themselves, to feed their families. But at the same time is innovation. So it's something new. It's a new idea. It's a new idea locally in South Africa. It might not be a completely new concept, but generally what we find is that even taking an offshore concept that might come out of a mature market like the US market, bringing it locally to South Africa and Africa, it needs to be adapted for this market. So an innovation locally doesn't have to be globally something completely new.
I want to ask, a lot of time when you talk about entrepreneur, as you said, and innovation, it tends to be at the beginning phases of new companies, as it were. But how important is this within established organization in order to spur on growth?
It's critical. Times have changed. The world has fundamentally changed. Business has changed. And what you find today is that people, as opposed to going into companies and getting a job, they go into a company and they look for a career. When you're in a business as well, you don't have to be an entrepreneur or an innovator outside of a business and create your own business. You can be an entrepreneur and an innovator in an existing role. And essentially, for businesses to grow, businesses have to change, they have to evolve. What we found, for argument's sake, at our business, at Integr8, we look for entrepreneurs, we look for innovators, and we allow our people, let's say 70% of their time, to focus on their day-to-day roles, and we ask them to spend, if they can, 30% of their time looking for something new, a new way to do something, a better way to do something.
It's really about a culture, and we probably need more of it in South Africa. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. It's a culture. I think it's a mindset as well. It's a mindset. If you look at an example, you take boiling water, or water at 211 degrees, water gets very hot. And with hot water, you can make a cup of tea. At 212 degrees, water boils. With boiling water, you can power a train. So it's looking for people that want to go that extra degree, that one step further, people that will actually make a difference as well. Don't forget as well is entrepreneurs create jobs, they create opportunities. It's essentially from an empowerment or a black economic empowerment aspect. When you look at black economic empowerment and entrepreneurs within that field, that's probably most critical to the growth and the well-being of South Africa.
I was reading up a bit on this type of innovation, and I found a statement which I want to pose to you. It says, as uncertainty falls, firms evolve from being entrepreneurial to corporate, finally becoming bureaucratic. What's your sense about that?
That's actually a very good example. It's very important as a company grows and a company matures to have a company corporatize. I'm not saying become a corporate and overnight you need to actually become a corporate. There are reasons why corporate systems exist, and they exist in order to facilitate and allow businesses to actually grow. No business can grow and become a big business or an enterprise business without having mature corporate-based systems. But there's a very fine line. There's the line between entrepreneurial spirit and innovation and a bureaucratic business. Companies need to mature their business to the level and corporatize to the level that makes sense to their customers. So you basically, it's whatever your customer wants, and corporatize to that level. You've got to also be careful that you don't swing the pendulum too far over or not far enough over. So it's to find that very fine balance. It's quite difficult, but it's very important for any company that needs to actually grow.
Right, we've run out of time, I'm afraid, but thank you so much, Rob, for that. That is Rob Sussman, who's the founder and CEO of Integr8 Group. Thanks for watching.
Business IQ was proudly brought to you by Credit Guarantee.